The story of Joseph, from the pit to the palace. A long time ago, in the land of Canaan, there lived a young man named Joseph, the favorite son of Jacob. Jacob had 12 sons, but Joseph was special. To show his love, Jacob gave Joseph a beautiful coat of many colors, bright reds, blues, and golds. It shimmered in the sun like a rainbow. But Joseph's brothers didn't like that. In fact, they were jealous, very jealous. To make things worse, Joseph started having strange dreams. One night, he dreamed that he and his brothers were tying bundles of grain in a field. Suddenly, Joseph's bundles stood upright, and all the others bowed down to it. When he told his brothers, they frowned. "So, you think you'll be our king someday?" they sneered. Another night, Joseph dreamed that the sun, moon, and 11 stars bowed to him. When he told his father and brothers, even his father was puzzled. These dreams, what could they mean? Jacob wondered. The betrayal. One day, Jacob sent Joseph to check on his brothers who were tending sheep far away. As Joseph approached, his colorful coat fluttering in the wind, the brothers saw him from a distance. "Here comes the dreamer," they said bitterly. "Let's get rid of him." At first, they planned to kill him. But Reuben, the eldest, said no. "Let's just throw him into a pit." They grabbed Joseph, tore off his special coat, and threw him into a deep, dark pit. Later, when traders came passing by on camels, one of the brothers, Judah, had an idea. "Let's sell him instead. At least we'll get something out of it." So they sold Joseph for 20 pieces of silver, and the traders took him to Egypt. The brothers dipped Joseph's colorful coat in goat's blood and brought it back to their father. Jacob cried bitterly, believing his beloved son was dead. Joseph in Egypt. Down in Egypt, Joseph was sold to a rich man named Potiphar, one of Pharaoh's officers. Even as a servant, Joseph worked hard and trusted God. Everything Joseph touched seemed to succeed, and soon Potiphar put him in charge of his entire household. But one day, Potiphar's wife told lies about Joseph, accusing him of something he didn't do. Potiphar became angry and threw Joseph into prison. Still, Joseph didn't give up hope. Even in prison, God was with him. He helped other prisoners, and soon the jailer put Joseph in charge of the other inmates. One day, two of Pharaoh's servants, the cupbearer and the baker, were thrown into the same prison. Both had strange dreams and didn't know what they meant. Joseph said gently, "Interpretations belong to God. Tell me your dreams." The cupbearer dreamed of a vine with 3 branches that produced ripe grapes. Joseph said, "In 3 days, Pharaoh will restore you to your position." The baker dreamed of baskets of bread that birds were eating. Sadly, Joseph told him, "In 3 days, Pharaoh will have you executed." And it happened exactly as Joseph said. The cupbearer was freed, but he forgot about Joseph. From prison to palace. 2 years later, Pharaoh himself had strange dreams of 7 fat cows eaten by 7 thin cows, and 7 healthy ears of grain swallowed by 7 thin ones. None of his magicians could explain it. Then the cupbearer remembered Joseph and said, "There's a man in prison who can interpret dreams." Joseph was brought before Pharaoh. He bowed and said, "I can't interpret dreams, but God can." Pharaoh told his dreams, and Joseph explained. The 7 good cows and ears of grain mean 7 years of plenty. The 7 thin cows and ears mean 7 years of famine. God is warning Pharaoh to prepare. Pharaoh was amazed. Can we find anyone like this man in whom is the Spirit of God? He made Joseph second in command of all Egypt. Joseph was given fine clothes, a gold chain, and authority over the land. He stored food during the 7 good years and prepared for the famine. Reunion and forgiveness. When the famine came, people from all lands came to Egypt to buy food, including Joseph's brothers. They bowed before him, just as Joseph had dreamed long ago, but they didn't recognize him. Joseph spoke to them in Egyptian and tested them to see if they had changed. When he saw their hearts were repentant, he couldn't hold back his tears any longer. He said in their own language, "I am Joseph. Is my father still alive?" His brothers were shocked and afraid, but Joseph said kindly, "Don't be afraid. You meant it for evil, but God meant it for good, to save many lives." He forgave them completely. Later, Joseph brought his whole family, even his old father Jacob, to live safely in Egypt, where they had plenty to eat and a home to call their own. Moral of the story: Joseph's life teaches us that even when bad things happen, God can turn them into something good. When we stay faithful, patient, and forgiving, we can rise, just like Joseph, from the pit to the palace.